Hey guys, welcome to your first virtual art lesson. Um, I hope that you had a chance to check out the really cool open house that all your teachers made and got to know a little bit about each of us. If you're new or you forgot, my name is Mrs. Bergman and I'm the art teacher. I do art for kindergarten all the way through fourth grade. And I absolutely love it. So I'm really excited that I still get to teach you guys art, even while you're at home, and you guys still get to do art projects with me, which makes me really excited. So hopefully you get to watch these videos. Hopefully you guys get to do these projects, and I hope that each week you look forward to doing them with me. And then you share them with me, because that's the important part. That's the part that gets me all excited, is getting to see what you guys make. So please, please, please don't forget to do that step. Share with me, please. It makes my day. Okay, so the first project, if you've ever had me before as an art teacher, the way I always start the school year is with a self-portrait. And I always start with self-portraits because I love to see how much your art skills have changed and grown over the years. And I love to see how you have changed, because maybe one year you got glasses or one year you got a haircut, and your self-portrait can kind of record those different changes as you get older, which is kind of exciting. So, if you don't know already, a self-portrait is a picture that you draw or paint of yourself. So if I were to paint a self-portrait, that means I am painting a picture of me, of Mrs. Bergman. And if you make a self-portrait, you are drawing you. If you were drawing me, that would just be a portrait. But if you draw you or I draw me, that's a self-portrait. And self-portraits are so important. Self-portraits are so important for artists because they do keep that record of your art skills and how they change. Self-portraits are something that artists have done for a long, long time. Artists that are working today still do self-portraits, and artists that were alive a long, long time ago did self-portraits. And there's several reasons for that. The one is the one I already said, right? To kind of keep a record of your art skills and things like that and how they change and develop. But the other part of that is that you are always available to draw, right? So if you're sitting at home and you're like, I really want to draw somebody, but there's nobody around, there's always you, right? You're always there. And so artists, you, me, and famous ones, draw themselves because they're there, because they're available to draw. That makes sense, right? So if you have a mirror at home, go and find a mirror, and then take a look at yourself in the mirror and draw yourself. If you don't have a mirror, I bet you already know what you look like, right? You know what color your hair is. You know what color your eyes are. And all of those different things that make you special, that make you unique. Those are the things I want you to think about when you're drawing your self-portrait. What color is my hair? What color is my skin? Right? There's not really just like white or brown, or there's so many shades in between. My parents have always described my skin as like olive. And my little baby Luke, his skin is like so white it's pink, right? He's kind of like, his skin is kind of pink. And my husband is covered in freckles. So we all have things that make us different. Even if you have brown hair, I bet you your brown hair doesn't look like my brown hair, right? They all kind of have different lengths or textures. Some of us might have more straight hair or more wavy. Some of ours might be more curly. So yeah, think about those things that make you, you. and make your self-portrait look like you. So if you have brown eyes, don't forget to color with brown, okay? If you have long hair, draw long hair. If you like to wear your hair in a ponytail, draw your hair in a ponytail. So that's one way to make your self-portrait look like you, right? To think about all those different facial features that make you unique. What your eyes look like, what your nose looks like. Don't forget to draw your ears. That's one thing that when kids are drawing, they often forget to draw their ears. I mean, if your hair is down, right, then you can't see my ears. But a lot of you guys probably have shorter hair, and so you can probably see your ears, so make sure that you draw those ears. And also, don't forget that your ears line up with your eyes. So the top of your ear actually lines up with your eyes. So if you are somebody who wears glasses, that makes perfect sense to you, right? Because that's how your glasses stay on your face. It's because your glasses hook onto your ears. And if your ears were like way up here, it wouldn't work out so well. Or if your ears were way down here, they wouldn't work out so well either, right? Your glasses would always be falling down. So that's just a little tip. Okay, but the other thing that you guys can do to your self-portraits to make them look like you, or to make them more unique to you, is think about those things that make you special, those things that make you different than everybody else. So maybe you are like totally in love with your dog, right? Draw your self-portrait with your dog. Maybe you love being outside like I do. I love being in the trees and out in my woods. I love looking for mushrooms and wildflowers and butterflies. I love being outside. So when I draw my self-portrait, I usually draw myself outside, or with plants, or with a paintbrush, because those are things that make me unique, right? Other people like to be outside, other people like to paint, but it's something that not everybody does, right? So it's something that is special to me. So that's how I would draw myself. I draw myself outside. So think about those things that you like, think about those things that make you special, and add those to your self-portrait. Attached on this card, hopefully if it works, below will be a Google Slides presentation that I made. And it just has a bunch of different artists with their self-portraits. It's a really simple slideshow. It's meant for you guys to just look and see some famous artists and ways that they've chosen to draw themselves. Some of you might know this already, but my favorite artist is Frida Kahlo. I love Frida Kahlo. I'll probably talk more about her later. I'm currently reading a biography about her life and learning more about her, and she's fascinating. But she is an artist who drew a lot of self-portraits. She was somebody who she was pretty sick. She had a lot of health complications in her life, so she spent a lot of time alone in bed. And so she picked up a paintbrush, and like I was saying before, right, she didn't have a lot of things to draw when she was just stuck in her room, but she had herself. So she had a mirror in her room, and she painted herself a lot. And yeah, so her self-portrait that I put in the Google Slides presentation is one of my favorites of her because there's just a lot going on. She has like a monkey on her shoulder, and she looks like she's out in the jungle. So it's really cool. You get to know a lot about an artist by looking at their self-portrait. If you just looked at a picture of me, right, you wouldn't really know that I like to be outside. Like, think about like our school pictures that we have taken with like the boring blue background, you know, where we're in our nice clothes and our hair's all brushed nice. You don't really get to know anything about me besides what Mrs. Bergman looks like, right? But you wouldn't know that I love to be outside or that I love to paint, or anything like that by just looking at my school picture. But if you saw a self-portrait of me and I painted myself, you know, with trees or holding wildflowers or in a studio with a paintbrush and paints, then you'd know a lot more about me. You'd be like, oh, I think Mrs. Bergman likes to be outside, or I think she really likes to paint. This must be my art teacher, right? So that's a really cool thing that I love about self-portraits is that they can tell the person who's looking at them more about them just by looking at them. They can say way more than a photo can say about somebody. And the other thing that's cool about it is you get to choose. So maybe the day that you decide to draw your self-portrait, your hair is like in a braid. And you're like, I really don't want to draw myself with a braid. You don't have to. That's the cool thing about a self-portrait. If you want to draw yourself with your hair down, you can. Maybe you're like, I really don't want to be drawing myself in this, shirt. I really want to draw myself wearing like a pink polka dot shirt or, my favorite rainbow shirt or my favorite shirt with a unicorn on it. Right? You can do that because it's your self-portrait. You get to choose. My only rule is that it looks like you. So don't draw yourself with blue hair if your hair is brown, right? Maybe you wish you had blue hair. So maybe that's something you could do. But things that don't change, like your eye color, your skin color, things like that, what your nose looks like, what your ears looks like, what your smile looks like, right? Don't change those things because that's what makes you you. So that's the only thing that I want to make sure that you have in your self-portrait are those things that are you. Draw yourself how you are. And then make it fun. Add color if you have crayons at home or markers. If you are bored at home and your parents are like, hey, want me to order some art supplies? Some cool ones are Crayola has multicultural crayons and multicultural markers and multicultural paints. So what that means is they have crayons, markers, paints that are in different skin colors. So different shades of like tan and brown and like reddish and all the different, well, probably not all the different colors that our skins come in, but at least a lot more than what you're going to have in like a regular crayon pack. So if you have a little extra time, maybe look for those. I know Hobby Lobby sells them, and Joann's, and I think you can even get the crayons in like a smaller pack of like 8. So those are kind of fun if you have the chance. The kids here at school won't be able to use those because we're not allowed to share supplies, but that's a lucky thing about you guys at home. You guys could if you wanted to. So I think that's all that I was gonna say about self-portraits. But if you are at home and you have questions or concerns or whatever, just let me know. Yeah. Contact me. My email address should be available online. Otherwise, call the school. I think we have open office hours from 2 to 3 every day after school, so you can contact me. You can call me in my classroom. I'll be right here in this spot answering your questions. So if you're wondering like what materials to use whatever you have at home. If you have paper, use paper. If you have, the back of a cereal box, use the back of a cereal box. If you have paints and you love to paint, go for it. Otherwise, the kids here at school are just going to be using what's in their desks. So their pencils, their crayons, markers, that kind of stuff. It doesn't have to be fancy, but make it as fancy as you want. And like I said at the beginning, show me when you're done. Please, please, please send me what you did. I would love to see it. I miss you guys so much. It's been so long since I've seen all of you, and I miss you all so much. So please, even though you're at home, please stay in contact with me. Send me what you're working on, send me your questions, and I can't wait to hear from each and every one of you guys. I hope you guys are doing great. I hope you're enjoying your last bit of sunshine and summer, and I can't wait to talk to you all soon.